SaveWithConrad.com.
Yeah, I'm Justin Bruckman from Knoxville, Tennessee. What got me to Save with Conrad was the 83 Weeks podcast. I really wasn't thinking about getting rid of any debt. I just wanted to cash out some equity in the house to do remodeling. But I did both, so that was pretty awesome. Worked out great. Redid the foyer, built pantry space, and there's little odds and ends when I first bought the house that I wanted to take care of, and we were able to take care of it. So, yeah, paid off 2 cars and some credit card debt. So probably all in all, get $30,000 in that. And then I got some $30,000 more equity out of the house, and still plenty of equity left over. So payment's good. I lowered my interest rate. I'm in a much better spot than I was. Super easy. Everybody was great. Very, very awesome people. Francis and Steve were great to work with. They were awesome. Made it for a very easy, seamless experience. I'd probably say all in all, probably $1,000 a month at least. I'm lowered my interest rate, especially the way the interest rates are right now, which is, that's amazing. I'm Justin Bruckman from Knoxville, Tennessee. I saved over $1,000 with SaveWithConrad.com, and I did a lot of renovations with that money as well.
NMLS number 212, equal housing lender. SaveWithConrad.com. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? With the voice of your childhood, Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
So who we got on here with us tonight so far?
Dave Silva's here.
Okay. Hey, good to see everybody. It's great to be doing this show with you, Conrad, because we're going to go back to May of 1985. And man, boy, do I love the 80s.
We all love the 80s, and you're going to love today's episode. We're going to be watching a very special edition of Saturday night's main event. How about season 1, episode 1? The very first Saturday night's main event. It was filmed on May 10th, 1985 from the Nassau Coliseum in Uniondale, New York. The old stomping grounds for the WWF. And it aired the very next day on May 11th, 1985. You can watch along with us over on Peacock. Just look for Saturday night's main event, season 1, episode 1.
Right.
Tony, this is going to be a fun deal here, is it not? I know you and I love nostalgia, but this is about as nostalgic as it gets from a WWF standpoint, don't you think?
Yeah, of course, this is leading right up to, am I right? Or is right after
the heels of WrestleMania, yes.
It was WrestleMania because Mr. T is there and Cyndi Lauper is there. And yeah, it's about as nostalgic as you can get. Now, we only have a couple here with us. We have Bad Money Slim, Coach Rosie, and Jason Taylor are all here with us. You're the only ones right now. So everybody gather around the campfire, warm up your hands. We'll tell a few stories about the Saturday night's main event. I was working in the business, of course, at that time, and I was full into doing Jim Crockett promotions because we had started in April of 1985 doing the TBS show. So I was excited about that, but I really loved network TV back then. Who didn't, right? And we loved Saturday Night Live, and this was a departure from Saturday Night Live, and it found its own niche, man. And then when I started working for them 4 years later, we still had Saturday night's main event. And I got to know Dick Ebersol, and I got to know the people in the NBC area that worked on the show. And, they shot this show a little bit differently than they did the regular WWE or WWF shows back then. It was more scripted by Dick Ebersol's people, which I thought was very, very cool. And so I got to not only see it from the beginning, but work in it. And this Saturday night's main event, Saturday Night Live, MTV, just brings me back to the 80s. And I've told Lois this before, and I don't know. I think that when I die, I'm going to go back to the 80s.
It's a good place to go.
Yeah, better than going to hell or anything like that. But there's something, I don't know. There's something very strong pulling me back to the 80s, and I can't put my finger on it. Dream about it a lot. Now, it's where I met Lois. It's where I started my career in baseball in 81. Met Lois and got married. We had all of our kids in the 80s. The music was great. I I got to start working in wrestling, and was first on TBS, got to work for the WWE. So a lot happened in my career during the 1980s. A lot of things happened in my life, and my life really changed from being just this goof from Virginia, living on his own. All of a sudden, I've got a wife, I've got a job, I'm on TV, I got 5 kids, and hey, let's move to Connecticut for a year. So things happen, but I just love the 80s and miss it. I think some great things happened then, and I think Saturday Night's Main Event's part of that.
We're excited to watch it. It's going to be season 1, episode 1. But before we do, Tony, I wanted to show you a new innovation that I think you'll be on board with.
I love innovations.
How about a toilet innovation?
Of course.
Look at that ass. I want to see that ass. Turn around. I want to get a look at that ass. See your butthole. I want to look at that butthole. Ooh, the butthole. Goddamn, you got a butthole.
You think we could get one of those toilets at the Schiavone household?
I think that would scare the hell out of us. And I think the dogs would bark and attack the toilet.
That's disappointing.
So, yeah, there's a lot about my life that's disappointing. Hey, got some news for you.
Oh, okay. I love news.
Well, it's not anything earth-shattering about what's going on in wrestling or what's going on in AEW. I am in Atlantic City doing Collision on Saturday night. Of course, we made a big deal, and I think it was fair that we made a big deal out of me being back on TBS on Saturday night doing wrestling again. Had a great crowd in Atlantic City. I drive from Atlantic City to, I'm really stretching this out, I'm sorry, from Atlantic City to Philadelphia, spend the night at the hotel there at the airport, walk to the gate. Ricky and Robert are there, and who else is there? But the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Oh my gosh. Look at that.
And to even further the story, we sat beside each other on the flight. And
oh, really?
Yeah, we did. And he said, "You got me, Schiavone." And one guy said, "Hey, Rick," he stood up, he said, "I'm a big fan." He said, "Here's Tony Schiavone. He's the one that made me famous." And we talked, and of course, and I said, "Rick, you can't really talk to the flight attendants like you did back in the 80s. He said, "Watch me." So
Oh,
he just went up, got a Bloody Mary. He said, "I'll give you $8,000 for a Bloody Mary." She said, no, I'll make you one. And he sat down, and we talked just a little bit, and clunk, both the old guys were out, gone. But it was great seeing him. It really was. And it was, and he was on his way back to Tampa, and I was on my way home. And I just thought that was kind of unique and
moment for you.
Yeah, full circle moment. And I
Not
mentioned
only
him
on TBS on Saturday night, but with the Nature Boy himself. My gosh.
Yeah, right. And I told him, I said, of all the things I've done in my career, one of the most memorable ones, if not the most memorable one, is, and I've talked about this on this program before, being able to hold the microphone for Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Big deal. I mean, Ric Flair was, before 1985, a lot of people knew him, but he wasn't on TV on a national level until he got on TBS. And then Ric Flair became a household name. So I just, I feel honored that if you see pictures of Ric Flair doing promos, there I am holding the microphone. I wasn't the only one. David did sometime, JR did sometime, but I'm, especially in 85, I'm holding the microphone when he first started. So it means a lot to me that he not only meant a lot to my career personally, but also there I am and all those videos and all those pictures next to Ric Flair. Big deal.
Shout out to the Nature Boy. He's got some fun stuff coming up that I'm sure people are going to have fun with. And I want to go ahead and show you something else that caught my attention. And this comes to us courtesy of AEW. Our great close personal friend RJ City has a fabulous YouTube series. I'm sure you're familiar with it, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, EW.
Right.
Which is pretty fun. And well, there's a fun story on here that I think you'll get a kick out of. So let's roll that beautiful bean footage, Silva.
You also said your dream match is with Too Cold Scorpio.
Mm-hmm.
It's because you want to see his giant penis?
No, I actually wrestled him, and
You got a peek?
I guess I got a peek, and I got a unintentional feel because I was down on the ground selling. He did a front flip leg drop, and somehow his leg hit me, but then something else hit my jaw, and I'm like, oh hell no, that was it. That show was it. That was the legend. So
Wow.
How about that?
Hit Willie in the jaw with it.
I mean, I've heard of like a tandem leg drop, but it's usually you and a tag team partner, not you and your sidecar.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good way to say it. A sidecar.
Well,
Well,
I mean, do
why not?
you think he has to? Does that count as a carry-on when he's traveling? I mean, can he still have another bag, or is that? I don't think it goes in the overhead bin. I've never traveled with him. I don't know.
I would not like to see him put in the overhead bin, and I'm sure the flight attendants wouldn't like to see that either.
No, I think I agree.
It might fit under the seat in front of him.
Okay. Hey, before we get going, as a reminder, we're going to give you guys an opportunity to jump in and join us. We're watching the very first Saturday night's main event over on Peacock. It's season 1, episode 1. And Tony, I don't know if you saw this, but you know, we have we've created some entrepreneurs through this show.
Well, I guess that's one way to say it.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, we started referring to our trademark attorney, Mike Dawkins, as our gimmick attorney, and he went and bought gimmickattorney.com and forwarded it to his page. And then we started talking about our great close personal friend who's known to clog a toilet or two, Mr. Jeff Jewett. And we sort of freestyled that his business was doodootrucking.com. And of course, he bought that domain and pointed it his way. And a few years ago, we we may have accidentally created a monster, Tony.
Okay.
The former belt pope, who referred to himself as Super Dave Miller. Only assholes call themselves Super Dave, but I digress.
I think he's with us here tonight too.
Well, don't say that.
Okay.
It's not like Joe Hendry where I say his name and he appears, I hope. But anyway, we did a fun like April 1st nothing but commercials drop a few years ago. And I had these silly over the top commercials for Pond Water Dave. I was talking about how he couldn't get sick. He had flaming hot Cheetos and Diet Mountain Dew or whatever the hell it was.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, man, he's taken it off and ran with it. We talked a few weeks ago or a few months ago now at this point about how he once got in a fight and had to defend himself when he was working at the grocery store. And there was well, I think the term he used was crackhead. And he had to defend himself. And the only thing that was handy was a tuna can. You remember this?
No.
Okay. Well, he's turned it into a t-shirt, Dave. I can't believe this is real. Silva, Tuna Can Jones. He's actually got merch now. This is Pond Water Dave selling t-shirts where he calls himself Tuna Can Jones, where he's beat a woman about the head and face who was attacking him, biting him, drawing blood, puncturing his skin. She would not stop biting him. And he had to take matters into his own hand with a can of tuna. And now to celebrate that moment in time, he's selling Tuna Can Jones t-shirts. What have we done, Tony?
Well, we've made entrepreneurs. And not only that, he had a very beautiful young lady modeling the shirt for him as well, unless that's Photoshop shit, which it could be.
Throw that picture back up there.
Okay.
You think Pond Water Dave knows that girl?
No, that's Photoshop.
Yeah. You think?
Yeah, I think.
Hey, speaking of nerds,
Yeah.
I think Silva's got a little clip for us.
Oh, brother.
Tony, tell
This
me that's
book-
not the best possible version of Raining Blood you've ever heard.
That's actually the first version of Raining Blood I've ever heard.
You're not a Slayer guy?
No, I don't. No.
Dude, Matt Schiavone told me he was conceived a Slayer.
He may have been, but I don't remember that.
You just went full Davy Boy. I wasn't even there. I
Don't know.
You telling me that wasn't badass? That could be
that
like
was badass.
that
And
was
listen,
badass, dude.
and as we know, and everybody who's joined us here tonight has to realize this, that nerds really run the world now.
No doubt.
Yeah. And it's like back in the 80s, it wasn't that case. Ha ha ha, you're a nerd.
Oh, I
And
don't
now
think that was the case. I think Steve Jobs and Bill Gates and Warren Buffett still may have qualified as nerds, but wealthy nerds.
Right. But now, I'll give you a perfect example. Video games, right?
Yeah.
It was like there was a commercial that this guy was, I don't know if you remember this or not. The guy was interviewing this nerd, and he says, "Oh, I see on your resume you got 150 million on Space Invaders." And the guy went, "Yeah." "And you got 300 million on Ms. Pac-Man?" "Yeah." And he said, "It tells me you know a lot about computer games. What do you know about computers?" And the commercial was, don't get all hyped up in video games because you need a real job. Well, here we are in 2025, and guys playing video games can win millions of dollars playing video games for competition. Schools now have video games competitions. There's a league in Virginia for video games. And once again, it's just how things change, and nerds run the world now.
I'm not opposed to that. And I'm also not opposed to well, that's in my notes here from our crack producer, Dave Silva, and he may actually be on crack because he says he's got something magical he wants to show you, Tony.
Is this something we're going to have to cut?
I don't know.
I
I don't
hope
know
not.
what it is.
Okay, let's go.
There was this guy that I was friends with a while back, and he was in a wheelchair, and he told me that he's never gotten head before. So one day we're chilling, and I just decided to go down on him, make his day. I'm going at it, and after, he just regained the ability to walk.
Let me call my friends who are in wheelchairs.
You ever had one so good that it cured a disability?
No, I've never had one so good.
We got to get that girl.
Mhm.
I mean, damn the March of Dimes. He should have just called her and just
Yeah.
knock it.
Okay.
I have a feeling that guy was lying. I mean, I don't know for sure. I'm not a doctor or nothing, but
Yeah.
I think that guy may have been a bullshitter.
Yeah, he was, and that girl probably believed him because nerds rule the world, and there's a lot of dumbasses out there.
Well, listen, I don't know if it's exactly magic, but it's going to feel like it. I'm talking about Blue Chew Max. It's here. And man, this is a badass. I mean, you talk about an upgrade. The Blue Chew Max is different than regular Blue Chew. You see, Blue Chew Max combines Viagra and Cialis into one chewable. It's so damn exciting that I've got tongue twisters here. Great sex is just a few clicks away. Sign up at bluechew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA. They're prepared and shipped directly to your door. And the best part is it's all done online. And that means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversation, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Make your life easier by getting harder and discover your options at bluechew.com. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try your first month of Blue Chew free when you use the promo code WHW. Just pay the $5 shipping. That promo code is WHW. Visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring today's podcast. Tony, my goodness, what a transition that was. I'm proud of Dave Silva for doing that in that order. But without further ado, we're going to watch some old wrestling together. Tony, are you ready for this?
I don't know if I am or not, but I'd like to think I am.
Well, I think we can get you there. And we're going to be watching, as a reminder, the very first Saturday night's main event. It's over on Peacock as season 1, episode 1. It was filmed May 10th, 1985. It aired the very next day, May 11th, 1985. And I'm locked and loaded on my side, Tony, whenever you're ready.
I love locked and loaded. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Saturday night's main event. Go to the Peacock. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, please.
Wow. How about Cyndi Lauper? And
Mhm.
I cannot believe that I kind of forgot that they opened the show. Wendy Richter and Cyndi Lauper were the first image on the program. I know that she is a huge musical celebrity at the time, but I guess I just assumed the first thing we would see would be Hulk Hogan. That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's like Hulk Hogan's the biggest star, but I guess they wanted the rub because it's Saturday night. And look, Mr. T is in the next slide. So they wanted the celebrity rub on the very first Saturday night main event, which preempted Saturday Night Live, right?
It is interesting too, because it does feel like in the more modern era, if you have a celebrity association at a big pay-per-view, they're probably not also at your TV 6 weeks later, but clearly this is a big deal, a special on NBC like this. But as a reminder, this is a couple of months after, I guess 6 weeks after is probably a better way to describe it, the very first WrestleMania. That went down in March of 85, and here we are in May of 85. I don't know. That seems pretty cool. And it seems clear to me that they were positioning Wendy Richter as like the female Hulk Hogan. Our top star on the male side is clearly Hulk Hogan, and our celebrity endorsement there is Mr. T. But we've got music and Wendy Richter on the other side. And we know Wendy is not actually long for WWE. She's one of the few who walked away. Did you ever meet Wendy Richter?
Yeah, I met her at an autograph signing in New Jersey years later. Yeah.
What was your impression of her?
Very nice, very country.
Oh God, listen to you.
She was. She's very country. How you doing? And of course, Cyndi Lauper was, "Hey, Wendy." Or she had more of a northern voice. Wendy. I can't do that northern voice.
Bad Money Slim is with us, and he says, "How old was Hulk here? He looks 44 years old.
Well,
He is 31 years old.
mm,
So that was a 31-year-old Hulk Hogan. But people did look older back then than they do now, don't you think?"
yeah, and I think it's because science has gotten better, right? I mean, there's a lot of things. I'm sure there's not. There wasn't all those different things you can use to get younger.
The Iron Sheik is headed to the ring. He is our first visitor, our first in-ring competitor
Mm-hmm.
here at the Nassau Coliseum. Our commentators are Vince McMahon and Jesse the Body Ventura. What do you think of that duo, Vince and Jesse, as a commentary duo?
Thought it was the best. I did. Back in the day, I thought Vince and Jesse were the best.
Okay, so we're going to get a tag match here. Nikolai Volkov did jump in the ring. And take a look at what we see here. We've got Captain Lou Albano with Barry Windham, Mike Rotundo, and a very young Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And they're holding court right in the middle. Who better than Mean Gene Okerlund?
Yeah, Mean Gene, Steamboat just, and you're going to see when he's in the ring just how great he looks. I mean, just handsome and tan, and he just looked like a star, man, back then. And always did, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Captain Lou.
You never met Captain Lou, did you?
I don't think I ever met him. I may have met him at, did we see him at a Cauliflower Alley? I'm not so sure. I don't know.
Now, you didn't with me because my man died in 09.
Okay, then I didn't.
I'm not asking this to be funny. I'm legitimately asking because I know it sounds stupid, but I got to ask.
Mhm.
Do you ever remember seeing anybody else do the rubber band in the face gimmick besides Captain Lou?
That he's the only man ever. I don't think we've seen any rock stars or rap singers or country music singers or anybody like that use that rubber band through the face. He was the only one.
So what we've got here is a 6-man tag. It's going to be the Iron Sheik, Nikolai Volkov, and George the Animal Steel with Classy Freddie Blassie as their manager. They're going to be taking on the U.S. Express with Ricky Dragon as their third, Captain Lou in their corner. and we get the spotlight treatment. I kind of like the feel of this. It's less is more. And
Mhm.
on some level, you'll get what I mean. This feels like a big JCP extravaganza, the way
Yeah,
it's shot right there.
exactly. And if you go and of course we cannot track the sound, but I was watching it earlier. If you go and listen to it, listen to the crowd, and the crowd was sweetened, right?
Well,
They
now you're watching Peacock, so this is edited completely. All the audio is totally different. They've
okay,
had to take out all those songs, and they've added in crowd noise to compensate for that. So
right? But they still knew that what I'm getting at is that Kevin Dunn and those guys knew how to sweeten a show to where it really was so authentic you didn't know unless you knew. Great crowd too, man.
Pondwater Dave says this show was poorly advertised. I tuned in for Saturday Night Live, and this was on. I had no idea it was coming on. That is interesting because back in the day, I guess if you didn't get the newspaper or you didn't read a TV guide, I mean, how would you know when something's coming on? It's not like now you can just Google it or you've got a guide button on your remote. I mean, that didn't happen back then.
Yeah, I know. I Yeah, there was no Twitter or anything like that to promote the show. Um, I guess it was on TV Guide, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's got to be on TV guide. But
Mhm.
Pondwater Dave, he was busy wrestling the tuna cans. He didn't have no time for no TV
Yeah,
guide.
I know. Gee whiz.
Hey, we got the most interesting two sets of boots in the history of wrestling in the ring right now. Barry Windham wearing those Austin Halls. I absolutely love those.
Hmm.
The two-tone Joan pull-up gimmick is it works for me.
Hmm.
And then we got Curly Toe Jones here with the Iron Sheik.
Hmm.
What do you think of the curly boots? I think that's fantastic.
It was awesome because no one else did it, right?
Yes.
And of course, it just made the Iron Sheik again he was amongst the boys and the people who worked in wrestling,
Yeah.
one of the more lovable characters. I don't know anybody and you may have heard differently. I don't know anybody ever said a bad thing about him. He was just so entertaining and
Yes.
so funny. And, uh, when he had his camel on TNT, Tuesday Night Titans, they told him to say, when they ask what your camel's name is, say Clyde, like, jumped on his camel named Clyde, Ahab the Arab, right? And so Vince asked him, "What's your camel's name?" He went, "Claude," and everybody backstage fell out. He was
Even
just,
better.
Ray Stevens. That's right. He was just a funny guy that everybody enjoyed. Even Ole Anderson just loved him, and Ole hated everybody. Uh, just really a lovable character backstage, and a legit wrestler too, as we know, right? Um, and of course, terrible tragedy with his daughter getting murdered. If you've seen the documentary about him, and of course, passed away. I guess I say recently; it could have been 10 years ago,
It wasn't that long ago, but that documentary is available on Amazon
right?
if you want to go look for that. But yeah,
Yeah.
the Iron Sheik sadly passed away. I guess next month will be 2 years ago,
Hmm.
June 7th, 2023.
Wow. Okay.
What's fascinating too is he had such an interesting run, in the WWF because, this was a different era. And so patriotism was at an all time high, and you had the Cold War, and it was the natural thing for you to book American heroes versus foreign enemies, not just in wrestling, but I mean in movies. This is the era where you've got Chuck Norris and Sylvester Stallone, and you've got all these Rambo characters. There's just a lot of, us versus the world here in America in our entertainment. So you've
Yeah.
got this Luke Skywalker character who can overcome everything in Hulk Hogan, but he has to have an enemy. He has to have someone to battle or it doesn't make sense. And so even when like the LJN figures come out, I don't think it was a big surprise that Hulk Hogan was the top seller and he was flying off the shelves. But I do think what caught some people by surprise is that Iron Sheik figure was a must-have for collectors because you didn't just want the Hulk Hogan figure by itself. He had to beat somebody up.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Because now people collect them and put them on the shelves, but back then you played with them, right?
Yes.
And you had matches with them. Um, and again, how about that? How about the ring skirt? That's not the greatest ring skirt in the world, but hey, it's 1985. Look at Steamboat, man. God, he looks just does so fluid. The fans were really right before the break getting into this match.
Oh, look at Ricky jump to the top rope here too.
Yeah, you don't see many missile drop kicks like that.
No. Isn't it interesting too to think what a crossover there was in wrestling? I know these days, tribalism may be at an all-time high, or so we think. It just becomes the thing to talk about. But as you take a look, the Iron Sheik was in the NWA, and certainly we would see Barry Windham and Mike Rotundo and Ricky Steamboat. I mean, so many of these guys, and I know he wasn't a part of it, but there was even a Russian faction on the other channel at this time. So
Mhm.
clearly that's what they're going for with Nikolai. But I just think the similarities, as we argue, there were different styles and different presentations. There's really no argument about that. But the talent really did have the luxury of going back and forth and having plenty of employment opportunities. I mean, the Watts territory isn't exactly booming here. It's not on its ass. We know it's not long for this world, but Watts is still running hard at this point. The AWA is, Memphis is, Florida's still limping along. There's plenty of places to work here in 1985, and this just happens to be, the only one with distribution on NBC. And I'm curious from your perspective, Tony, how did people inside the confines of wrestling feel about Vince McMahon presenting wrestling on NBC? Do they think it was a net positive or a net negative? I say that in all sincerity because I know a lot of old school promoters felt like, oh, what he does is phony baloney showbiz. We do real wrestling. But when this goes to the mainstream, was that a cause for concern for those old school promoters who felt like, oh, he's going to kill our business? They're going to think we do this bullshit or what have you.
I don't think it was a deal of his wrestling against our wrestling, and we're real wrestling, and he's not. The fact they had Barry Windham on their team, so to speak, and Ricky Steamboat on their team, to me, and Mike Rotunda, to me, showed me that they had great wrestlers on their end. The Macho Man Randy Savage. I think what the concern was, I think that, and rightfully so, you talked about all the territory. This was the end of the territories, and that's why in 83, when I first started, I feel fortunate that I was there when the territories were still running. But I felt that they all felt, promoters inside wrestling, that Vince was out to put them out of business, which he was, which he did. So they were all right. There's always been how do I say this? There's always been I'm trying to think of the word right now, and it'll come to me, but everybody is so nervous and so insecure. There's a big insecurity in wrestling, uh, with wrestlers and with promoters back then. That back then wrestlers didn't trust promoters because of payoffs, and then promoters didn't trust each other because they all thought they were trying to cut in on their business. And Vince cut in on the business big time, didn't he? It
Yes.
goes back to the point to where Vince had the best looking television show, and he went to all these markets that had local wrestling, and he said, "This is our product. This is how it looks, and this is their product, and this is how it looks." And if you're a station manager and you're the one who, or program director, you're the one that decides, what goes on aside from network, what goes on your television show. You look at Vince and go, "Shoot, we can sell local time with this. This looks better." And thus, there they all went. So I think the feeling on the inside was, man, he's out to put us out of business. Now he's on a national level, right? Um, and I remember, I don't know when it happened. Probably happened before that, before this. But I was I when I in Jim Crockett Promotions, uh, I shared an office with Sandy Scott, and Gene Anderson was across the hall from us, and in the corner was Jimmy Crockett, and across him was Dusty Rhodes had an office, and David had an office. So we're all kind of back there. when I think about it. Wasn't that cool to have an office back there? So anyway, I was with Sandy, and we would do all these local promotions like South Carolina, like North Carolina, like Virginia, like West Virginia, the core part of Jim Crockett Promotions. And then Sandy told me, he said, we're going to start running on a national level. He said, we're going to compete against them. So some of the promos that you're going to start doing now are for different cities that you've never done before. And I went, wow. So there was a war going on back in the 80s, long before the Monday Night Wars in the 90s. And it was Jim Crockett Promotions and Vince McMahon. I know you, before he passed away, you talked to Jimmy.
Mhm.
And they were not equipped to fight the war with Vince McMahon, um, although they tried and lost.
We're seeing a special moment here. We've got a Saturday night's main event here, and of course, Roddy Piper is going to be a big part of that program. So immediately after the 6-man tag, we see Piper's Pit going down, and you've got Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff as his guest on the director chair, seated right next to Roddy Piper, and there's Bob Orton with the arm cast.
Hmm.
Man, what a specimen Paul Orndorff was back then.
Oh my God, was he ever? He absolutely was, and was a big star too.
I want to mention as we're watching this, there was another story about a legend that came out today that I wanted to share with you, Tony. That may not have been on your radar because I know you don't often keep up with the wrestling news. But Fightful reported earlier today that Earthquake's daughter, John Tenta's daughter Joanna, is training to become a pro wrestler. How fun is that?
Wow, really? How old is she?
I don't
What is
know,
that?
but I haven't dated her or anything.
Well, I know, but it would probably have in the show, in the story, wouldn't it? Or did they just make up shit like many of them would like to do?
Well, she did an interview with a lady named Kelly Clarkson. I don't know if you're familiar with the Kelly Clarkson show, but she
Yes,
says
I am familiar with the Kelly Clarkson show because I saw the band Chicago perform on there.
well, there you go. Well, she did an interview with Kelly Clarkson and said she's training to become a wrestler, but I don't know that Kelly Clarkson asked if she could fill out her application for wrestling school, including date of birth and social security number. But I'll DM Sean Ross Sapp and see if he's got all that.
Don't DM him.
No, I'm going to say, hey, Tony really wants to know.
No, tell him I don't want no shit.
Should I just ask 411 fuck sheet?
Yeah, whatever. I don't even want information from those people. Okay, nothing.
Okay, you ain't got to get hot about it.
Yeah, I do have to get hot about it.
Hey, let me ask you something. What do you think? We saw it a moment ago, and I appreciate that they made sure they found a spot for him. We saw George the Animal Steel tear open the top turnbuckle.
Yeah.
That was one of the great gimmicks of this era of the WWF. What did you think of that? I mean, because it was different then, right?
Yeah, I thought everything George did was very, very funny and very entertaining and unique. You got to find your own niche, right? As they say.
Oh yeah.
And he did. And I did an autograph signing with him in Allentown a number of years ago. And he's a former high school teacher. He's a very, very intelligent guy, which made his gimmick even more fun.
They're going nose to nose here with Piper and Orndorff. What'd you think about their chemistry?
Oh, I just Piper's Pit, and this whole thing is kind of put one of the things that put WWF on the map, right? I mean, Hogan, Piper's Pit. I think anybody had good chemistry with Roddy because look him talking right now, and Paul bucking up to him and everything.
Yeah, this is going to be the angle where they actually turn Paul Orndorff babyface because Piper's blaming him for the WrestleMania loss. And of course, it looks like he's going to become an ally of Hulk Hogan. And we know famously, they're going to have their own feud when Paul Orndorff turns on Hulk Hogan, and it becomes a big time angle and probably the biggest push and moment and feud or whatever you want to call it of Orndorff's career, don't you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Had him up for the pile driver and got a clip from behind.
Here comes Mr. T to try to make the save.
How about that? Police running with him.
Isn't it interesting too when you see that stuffing from the turnbuckle on the ground around the ringside area? In 2025, that would never happen. They'd have had some asshole out there sweeping that up.
Yes, they would. I mean, we even have, you probably have noticed this if you see any of our shows and somebody bleeds in the ring
Yeah.
and you come back, the blood's gone. We have more than one.
Multiple canvases on there, right?
Yeah, right. Multiple, they make sure it's clean. And of course, that's for safety reason too, because of the blood, but still, they do clean up. As a matter of fact, one of our guys, Bird, goes around with a leaf blower.
I love that.
And we'll blow stuff out of the way. So,
did you ever hear or see what they did with the ECW arena when they were sweeping? So if
No.
somebody busted a table inside the ring, they would send the guy out with a broom, and the crowd would chant in the ECW arena, "Sweep it up, asshole! Sweep it up! Sweep it up, asshole! Sweep it up!" I don't know why, but that made me laugh.
We announced we're going to have a run of matches there, TV shows.
How about 6 shows in a row? We might go so far as to call it a residency.
Yeah,
They're going to be knocking down on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Uh-huh.
So if you've ever wanted to go to the ECW arena, it'll be your opportunity to do that. Coming up later this year, AEW going to do 3 weeks of TV there. And if I had to guess, they're going to have some other fun things planned and scheduled. I'm going to be at some of these shows. I can't help myself. They're also going to have a Ring of Honor pay-per-view there. This is all going down starting on August 27th, which coincidentally is the same date that Shane Douglas threw down the NWA title and proclaimed himself the ECW World Champion, and the first day of ECW's national television deal on TNN. And now AEW takes over the former ECW arena on August 27th. I love that.
I do too. I've been there autograph signing. So I'm looking forward to going back, and I think it'll be great. Be great having Taz there, and which reminds me, we probably should pull up a couple of old ECW shows and see them again.
We will definitely do that to get us in the mood for that. By the way, I know that historically there has been an all-out show. Used to be All In, I suppose, over Labor Day weekend. But AEW around Labor Day is going to be at the ECW arena. I don't know why, but that just feels right.
Yeah.
A late summer show in the ECW arena. Sign me up.
Yeah, me too. Look forward to that, man. Here comes
Hulk. Just got a great promo, and now he's coming to the ring, and he's got a different look here. He's not wearing a yellow Hulkamania shirt, but a red one with yellow letters, and he's got the white American-made bandana. We know over time he would adopt an all yellow with red trim look. Did you have a favorite version of Hulk Hogan? I mean, I know here early he wore like light blue and he wore white. He experimented a little bit. Do you prefer the classic mostly yellow with the red knee pad look or something different?
No, I like the classic Hogan look, but this is cool. I mean, this is really cool, and God, he looks so good, didn't he?
31 years old. I got to say the hairline does make me think he's older than 31.
Yeah, of course it would. And there's a red spot on the camera lens here. You notice that?
Was that from shooting one of the colored lights, you think?
Could be, yeah. Or it could be someone. I don't think this was the laser light era where fans were taking laser lights and shooting them in people's eyes. Not sure.
Hey, Darren Staley is saying that he just raised $12,000 for a family with a disabled child, and then he burned their home down. I don't really know if that's something I'd brag about.
Well, you know what? We get all of them in here, don't we?
He didn't actually burn their house.
Good.
He raised money because their house burned down.
Okay, there you go. Good job, Darren. So here, Hulk Hogan and Mr. T right off of WrestleMania.
Yeah, teaming up, baby. Here we go. This is going to be a big-time deal because you've got Hulk Hogan versus Cowboy Bob Orton with the world title on the line. Mr. T is on the outside in the corner of Hulk Hogan, and Roddy Piper is in the corner of Bob Orton. It's funny that we're doing this right now, too, because, man, isn't it interesting how life is just a full circle? I think most people agree the greatest heel turn of all time was Hulk Hogan, turning bad and becoming the leader of the NWO in July of 1996. But the more modern equivalent is John Cena turning earlier this year at Elimination Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are, the first big show after WrestleMania. And who gets a shot at Hulk Hogan, the champion, but Bob Orton?
Right.
Well, this Sunday or Saturday, whatever the hell it is, this weekend, WWE has a Backlash pay-per-view where the newly healed John Cena will be defending his WWE title against Randy Orton.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting. That
The
really,
timing
really
of
is.
that is just curious to me.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing.
Kind of like you calling wrestling live on TBS on a Saturday night.
Yeah, or me just calling wrestling live at all again. It's just
By the way, how fucking great and wild and over the top was that Tony Storm promo on the boardwalk? I loved it, dude.
she's redefined women's wrestling for AEW.
No doubt.
There's no, I mean, we are very fortunate to have two professionals. I mean, professionals, and we have more than that. But Tony Storm, Mercedes Moné, just so great to work with, both of them. I had not worked with Mercedes at all, and I didn't know what to expect because I knew she was Sasha Banks. But man, I just absolutely love her. And Tony Storm is just so entertaining. And obviously, they are going to have their collision pretty soon, and it should be great. But anyway, you're right. Tony Storm's the way she says things and just throws things out, the whore you adore or whatever it is.
I couldn't believe first of all, I was like, this was on TV.
Yeah.
But then I was loving it so much, but I was
Mhm.
kind of shocked at how, she didn't go over the line, but man, she got right up to it and it
Right.
was super entertaining.
Right.
Listen, let's be real. AEW by and large caters to guys like me, the adult, hardcore, the sickos, I think Tony Khan calls them.
Right.
But yeah, that promo was something else, man. If you haven't seen it, go out of your way to see Tony Storm this past weekend.
Yeah. And again, Tony Khan's got to be very, very proud of, this character that he came up with. And it's just doing gangbusters business for us. And kudos to Tony Khan for that. It was great. And not only that, great character that he developed, but Tony Storm has bought into it, as they say, fully. You got to have person to be able to do it, and she's the person.
By the way, this match with Bob Orton Jr. wearing a cast is brought to you by our friend Tuna Can Jones,
Mm-hmm.
where you can get that shirt, Tuna Can Jones, at jumpinthepond.printify.me. So if you want to go get Tuna Can
I'm
Jones,
sorry.
let me go ahead and make sure I got everybody the right domain here. It's www.jump-the-pondtify.me. So it ought to be really easy to find, really easy to buy. Go grab your Tuna Can Jones shirts. Did I give the domain again, Tony?
No.
www.
Unless Silva can put it up, put the fonts up. Oh, there it is.
All right, let's do it along with us.
Okay.
JUM.
-IN.
Well, you forgot the P, and you're too old to forget
okay.
the P.
Go, let's start again.
JUM
-IN.
-THE
-POND dot
PRN
TAIFY dot
TAFY. We're never selling any of these fucking shirts from him.
dot me. If anybody's got a domain called .me, for crying out loud.
Yeah. Take a shit in your hat. No, that's what it ought to be. Uh-oh, he's hulking up or jacking off. I can't tell.
There you go. Dun, 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 Da, 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 when it comes crashing down in the one inside. Point to him, Hulk. He didn't even point to him. He used to. Later in his career, he pointed to him after he hulked up.
He had to evolve into that, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
There it is.
Orton kicked out.
One.
What the hell? Didn't see that coming.
Maybe the leg drop is not the thing yet. Surely it's a thing in
crazy.
'85, right?
I mean, if he hit him with that thermos Scorpio style,
Well, you know, here's the deal.
took care of him.
Here's the deal. I mean, if you flash forward to 2025, everybody's kicking out of finishes now. But now, you know, notice how the referee is a New York State Athletic Commission referee.
Is he?
Yes,
How do you know?
because
You don't
Vince
recognize
would, Vince would never use a guy like this on TV.
not with facial hair like that and all that.
Just an old guy. And I've seen him do Madison Square Garden shows too. You got to use, back then you had to use the referees.
Oh, here we go, brother. Bob Orton's trying to set up the superplex. He's going to take a big bump. I bet $1 a leg drop's coming behind it.
But there's a fight on the other side.
Oh, a single axe handle. Yeah, they are looking over to the corner. Somebody's getting it on in the crowd.
Yeah.
Here we go. Leg drop. One.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Holy shit. They're cheating. Piper broke up the. Oh, damn it. Piper putting the boots to Hogan. It's a damn. Hulk Hogan wins, but it's by DQ, boys and girls. Mr. T's in there, and I don't think there was any love lost between Roddy Piper and Mr. T. By the way, Mr. T is still giving his Hall of Fame speech somewhere. Have you seen the Mr. T Hall of Fame speech before, Tony?
I've not.
I would encourage you to find it online or maybe on Peacock because it's something else. It was no shit, probably 2 hours and 15 minutes of him talking about his mom. Oh, look who's here to save the day and even the odds. Look at the crowd going banana. They had the numbers thanks to Paul Orndorff. What a cool looking team that is, too. Two Tampa boys and Mr. T. Roll Tide.
Yes, sir, buddy. Look how great Orndorff looks, too, man. Jeez.
The best. Hey, coming up, we've got Wendy Richter and the Fabulous Moolah. But before we do, I think, according to our notes here, Silva's got a clip about some Appalachian ladies.
Oh, Christ.
The birds and bees of Dayton and Southern Appalachia. Rule number 1, if she smells like love spell, you getting some pussy. Rule number 2, if she's got cherries tattooed in her pubic line, you getting some pussy. Rule number 3, if she's driving a $2,000 tax time mobile with a different colored door and a trash bag over the back window, you getting some pussy. Rule 3.5, that car's got a farm use tag on it, you getting some butthole too. Or brother as soon as you wake up. Rule number 4, if Mimi's got her babies, you getting some pussy. Rule number 5, she throws the dishes away instead of washing them, you getting some pussy. Rule number 7, if you can kick her old man's ass, you getting some pussy. That falls under the dad and or the boyfriend, husband clause, whoever old man may be. I have kicked both their ass. Rule number 8, we all know this one. If she goes by her first and middle name, get the fuck out of there after you get some pussy. Number 9, I love this one right here. Rule number 9, if at least one of her youngins has got loss and or MRSA, you getting some pussy. Last but not least, rule number 10, if you're picking her sister up from work and taking her home, you getting some pussy. Especially if she works in a call center.
Thanks to I think that was Bad Money Slim who did that one for us.
We really just drag the bottom of the internet barrel, don't we?
Are we?
Yeah.
Well, let's do it more high class. Let's call this ladies match like it's Saturday night on TBS. Coming to the ring is Fabulous Moolah. Weighing in at none of your damn business.
Absolutely. Here she comes in.
Go ahead.
Take a look at them glasses. Have the thick Coke bottle glasses come to the ring and take a look at that. Oh my God. How is she dressed here? For a lady that's 85 years old, she looks good, Conrad. Good.
You must have been on that Blue Chew Max, boy.
Wendy Richter just inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, or just
You
going
mean
to be a
Cyndi
W.
Lauper? I don't think Wendy Richter was.
Yeah, Cyndi Lauper. Her too.
If they put Wendy Richter in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, that'd be badass.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, isn't it crazy to think that as big of a star as they were making Wendy Richter to be, and I'm not saying she didn't deserve it. I'm just thinking it's interesting that 6 months after this, she's like gone.
Yeah, we talked about
And
that last week. Yeah.
it's this same match too,
Mm-hmm.
except it's Fabulous Moolah under a hood, calling
Yeah.
herself the Spider Lady.
Who's the
That's the agent.
of course it is.
Yeah.
I guess you had to bring the agent in. Girls just want to have fun. True colors. What else?
David Wolf is who we're talking about.
David Wolf.
Not a David Wolf fan?
Don't know him. Never had the pleasure.
Well, you got to get hot about it, bud.
No, I just said never had the pleasure.
He was in Body Slam, I think.
Okay.
He was in Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling.
Okay. Did you
I think he wrote Job Soul Bro.
so you were what, 3 years old here? 4, 5?
Yeah, 3. I turned 4 about a month and a half after this.
So you were really too young for Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling, right?
Yeah, I didn't see any of that. Now,
Yeah.
I mean, I did later as an adult. I mean, I didn't watch them all, but I mean, I knew what it was.
Yeah. I watched it, and the kids were, during this time, Matt was your age, and Laurie was 1 in 1985, so they were too young to watch it, but I watched it. I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool that wrestling was on doing cartoons. I thought it was, once again, it's one of those things that made them mainstream and booted every other promoter in the ass, right?
No doubt.
Yeah. Look at Fink reading from the
scroll.
The scroll. I was going to say script.
Well, I mean, what would you call it? Would you call that a scroll or a script?
Yeah,
I mean, it could be wrong.
It doesn't have the wooden end of it, but it's rolled up.
Dave Silva was 10 years old when this was happening. Dave, let's hear you. Or if you want to appear on camera, I don't know if you're decent. If you're not decent, definitely to come on.
Mm-hmm.
We need titty meat on the program here. It would certainly bring us up to a classier level.
Mm-hmm.
But we want to hear from you about this. I mean, you said it was awesome. What did you like so much about Saturday night's main event way back when?
Oh, Saturday night's main event, Rockin' Wrestling. Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling. Hulk. Hulk. That was awesome. That was Saturday morning delight.
And
Chunky Dave Silva.
And with the, I remember Gene Okerlund and Bobby Heenan doing some of the live things between them, right?
Oh yeah,
I remember them at the
the little live action stuff was awesome because it brought the cartoons to life.
And you know what? That's what we wanted back then. We wanted
people.
our cartoons to come to life.
It was fantastic.
Fantastic.
And then I was like, "Oh, Daddy, please buy me the Hulk Hogan's in the Iron Sheiks, in the Rory Poopers. I want to play with them, Daddy, in the bathtub, please, Daddy. Por favor, papi." And he was like, "Cállate los hocico. Ay, papi. Ándale."
So
I don't know what's happening.
So Dave, and now we have our comic books come to life. At least we did until Disney screwed them all up, but we did have them come to life, right?
Fact. But yes, Tony.
Right.
It's like now I can pay $65, maybe even $105 to go and watch them at the movie theater. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Tony, can I tell you something that will blow your mind here?
Okay.
And Silva, I want you to do your best guess to answer here as well, too.
Okay, here we go.
Take a look at what we're watching here with Fabulous Moolah, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you're seeing her in 1985.
Mm-hmm.
And she is the same age as a talent that is under contract an in-ring talent under contract with AEW right now. Do you want to guess who I'm talking about?
When and a female wrestler, obviously.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
There's no elderly female wrestlers.
Well, I thought you were going to surprise me and say she's 36 years old right here.
No, bud. Here's the thing that kills me, because everybody wants to talk about, because I've seen this. I don't know if you saw last week, Tony, but WWE released some talent, and Dave Meltzer was suggesting, oh, they aged out. They're getting too old for WWE. And now we're watching the very first Saturday night's main event, and the lady in the co-main event here challenging for the title is 61 years old. 61. But I'm saying all that to say, this will blow your mind, and I'm not trying to dunk on Moolah here. She's the same age as Billy Gunn.
Whoa.
Billy Gunn looks like a fucking Adonis.
Yes, he does.
I mean,
Oh,
he
yeah.
looks like you chiseled his ass right out of granite, and he is the exact same age as Fabulous Moolah is here. And you're like, people just don't look as old as they used to.
No, they don't. They don't, because of regiments and workouts, the science of working out, and just the science of food. And
I mean, listen, let's be clear. He is a freak, no doubt about it. He is the exception to the rule. But I'm saying, when you see him, you don't think Paw.
No.
But when you see her, you're like, man, I bet she makes a mean casserole. That's Mama right there. You know what I mean? Like, she knows how to make some goddamn oatmeal cookies. Let me just tell you now.
Damn right she does.
And you know they're awesome. And but by the way, she's going to take all your money when she makes them.
Yeah, of course she is.
We've heard about that.
Can you imagine her at a bar and you cross her? She just beat the crap out of you.
I mean, we just saw Sting have his last match last year. He's 5 years older than Fabulous Moolah is here.
Wow.
Like, that doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
How is that possible?
It's possible. Look at that. Fans grabbing at Wendy Richter. I mean,
Cyndi
whatever her name
Lauper.
is. Cyndi Lauper.
Fuck it. She's going in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
And she's the world champ. How about that? Wendy looked good here, didn't she? She had that 80s hairstyle.
Hey, Coach Rosie's got a question for you here, Tony. He says, today is my son Ethan's 21st birthday. Happy birthday, Ethan.
There you go.
What advice did you give your sons when they turned 21?
That was quite a while ago. I don't know.
Oh, you know what I just realized? You know what tomorrow is?
Yeah, tomorrow's Tuesday.
Well, do you know what today was?
Today was Cinco de Mayo.
And today we celebrated Mexican culture. Tomorrow we celebrate Dave Silva. Dave Silva tomorrow will be 61 years old. He'll be the exact same age as Fabulous Moolah tomorrow.
Dave, you don't look a day over 60 years old. Junkyard Dog, is that his mom?
I mean, I think that's his wife.
That's his wife, you sure?
Well, people look older back then, Tony.
They do.
Yeah, that is his mom. I'm just being funny.
Right. Well, because again, we're around Mother's Day here, right? On May 11th,
yeah, absolutely.
1985. So JYD, man, every dog got to have a bone to chew on.
Yeah. So how about this goof here? What's your favorite Duke of Dorchester, Pete Doherty match?
It's the first time I ever remember seeing him.
Oh, come on now.
Really?
I won't sit here and let you disparage the good goddamn name of Pete Doherty here on the program.
I'm going to do it.
No, you're not, you son of a bitch.
Fans love
NWA, just so you know.
Fans love JYD, man. He was part of the cartoon. He was a good guy. Look at this. Don't touch my mama, you son of a bitch. They had fans a little bit too close there. But it was a
Pete
good
Doherty.
look. It was a good look with the security, you know, the police bringing them in. That was a good look. Oh, this match can't last long. Is this the main
Oh.
event? Yeah.
Yeah, as you recall, Saturday night's main event, they usually put the big headline stuff towards the front of the show before it got too late.
Oh, they're going to have a Mother's Day celebration here.
Yes.
Yes. Cyndi Lauper's Mother's Day celebration.
By the way, you may have seen Pete Doherty as the designated hitman, the Duke of Dorchester, the Golden Terror.
Mm.
He was a singles wrestler. He was a tag team wrestler, and he did it from 77 to 97. You son of a gun.
Mm-hmm. Never remembered him.
He was a WWF guy. He wasn't really your deal.
Mm-hmm. Dog never did do much in the ring, you know, a couple of clotheslines now and then, but man, they loved him.
That's all you need. Punches, kicks, stomps, maybe a headbutt, a power slam, done deal.
Yeah. The Duke of whatever is selling for him too here, buddy. Pulled his ass up by the hair.
Tony, are you not going to sing happy birthday to Dave Silva? It's his birthday tomorrow.
Bum, 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 bum. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, David Silva. Join me in Arena, Mexico next month. Ooh.
Dave, have you ever been to Mexico City?
3, 2. I think he fell asleep on us.
Maybe.
That's a hard pass.
You've never, but you, I wasn't asking if you wanted to go.
Oh, sorry.
I know you don't leave the house. I know you don't go to wrestling shows. I know you don't cross the border for fear of not being let back in. I get it. But my question is, have you ever been to Mexico City?
Oh, no, God, no.
Okay.
I'm prime beef over there. They'd eat me alive.
Wow. Okay. And, you know, Dave, I'm thinking for any wrestling fan,
You should go to Arena Mexico.
Arena Mexico would be a bucket list for a wrestling fan, right?
Was
You
for
know
me.
what? They show it on TV. It's like I'm there.
Dave, we will.
In the words of my childhood hero, Ariba.
Okay. So, Dave, make sure that you're watching on Wednesday, June 18th, as we have Grand Slam Mexico. Okay.
Is that this June?
This June. Yes.
The 18th of this June, next month.
Next month. Absolutely.
3 days after Father's Day. That would be a heck of a gift for you and Silva Jr. to go south of the border. You know, Padre y Nino.
Padre Nino. No, I would love to go. That would be very cool to go to Mexico. And like, I literally this weekend, I was talking to my brother-in-law about Tony calling it Arena Mexico and him saying how cool it is and what it is like the Coliseum of Mexico. It's like so huge. He's done shows there. It's a big deal. So he was super excited to hear that Tony's actually going to get to call wrestling there. So
yeah, I'm really pumped about it. And I remember I've talked to various wrestlers who have wrestled a lot, and they all have told me the same thing. It's one of the greatest moments of their career, being able to wrestle there and the reactions you get from the fans. So can't wait.
It will be pretty cool to see AEW do a show there.
Oh,
Silva,
Tony, he did give me a list. He literally gave me a list of places you should go that's surrounding Arena Mexico that are owned by luchadors, famous luchadors that own like restaurants and stuff like that he thinks would be really cool for you to go into, that are all decked out in lucha and all that stuff. So
yeah, well, I'm going to go from the airport to the arena to the airport.
So you're there for one day. You're not gonna.
Well, no, we're staying at the airport. We're spending the night, but we're
okay.
Line out the first thing. That's what I do almost every place I go. Okay, Here we go. We got a Mother's Day celebration. Junkyard Dog and his mom with some pink roses. Who else we got?
The Iron Sheik, who's going to talk about his mom, and I'm sure Nikolai Voltov's going to mention Mother Russia.
Probably is, yeah. And let's see. I'm just a little bit behind here. Who's after Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik? I have a mother. Oh, there's Cyndi Lauper. Oh, and we're gonna hear from Pencil Neck Geek next.
Dude, you want to talk about swag?
Mm-hmm.
Classy Freddie Blassie had it in spades.
Freddie was something else, brother. I got to meet him, when I worked there. Who's he keep kissing on there?
I think I could pull off a Captain Lou. I may have to do that for Halloween.
Or Halloween, you probably could slick your hair back. Mm-hmm.
Man, Hogan in jeans looks weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, and sure does.
Man, his mom. I feel like that's every mom in the 80s right there. Is it not? With that hairstyle and those earrings.
Right.
Mm-hmm. She always wore the dark shades too. She was too cool for school, even indoors.
Right. Yeah, some people are don't think their eyes look that good, so they put dark shades on indoors. Okay. Oh my God, there's a cake.
I wonder what's going to happen, Tony.
Well, you know what happens when there's a cake in pro wrestling.
Harley Cameron jumps out of it?
Well, we wish, but you know what really happens? Somebody gets cake in the face. So it's going to happen here pretty soon.
How would you describe the outfit that Moolah's wearing here? It looks like she's here to foil Superman's plans.
She's Lex Luthor's mom.
She's got a date with Destro from G.I. Joe after this.
Oh.
Can you imagine a pissed off grandma showing up to a kid's birthday party like this, showing ass?
I just wonder if they had that suit for her, or if she really wanted to wear that.
I don't think anybody really wanted to wear that.
Hey, Andre Canty's with us. Have we ever had Andre with us?
I see him.
Yeah.
Hey,
Andre.
This is the nuclear woman.
The nuclear woman. Good call. Shout out to Andre. I don't think we've ever seen him with us. Maybe he snuck in. People are saying hi, Lois, to you here.
Hi.
Hey, there she is.
Oh, look at there. We got a Lois room.
Yeah, she got to take the dogs to bed.
And I'm leaving 2 of them with you.
Yeah. Yeah, they're saying you're getting around pretty good. That hip's working, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
A little bit.
Gino.
Oh, God. Is that Cyndi Lauper?
Yes, it is.
Holy.
Tell her that Wendy Richter just went in the Hall of Fame.
Wendy Richter just went in the Hall of Fame. Look at Gene Okerlund and Moolah in the cake.
Ask her if she's got Moolah's outfit there.
Do you have Moolah's outfit right there that she has on, that glitter? See what she's got.
Oh,
right
hell no. Tony doesn't buy me shit like that.
Oh.
I mean, stuff.
But would you wear it?
Would you wear it if I did?
Oh, God, no.
Okay.
I wouldn't fit in it.
Yeah.
I may have lost weight, but not that much.
Okay.
Oh
What about Jesse's suit? Would you look good in that, Tony?
Would you look good? I don't know if I'd look good in Jesse's suit or not.
No, you wouldn't.
We ought to
put you in a boa.
You and I ought to go to a Halloween party as Moolah and Jesse Ventura.
That would require y'all leaving the house. Sorry.
Jesse looked freaking cool there, though, didn't he?
Man, what a fun show.
That
it
was
just
great.
flew by. And look at there. Executive producers, Dick Ebersol, Vince McMahon. Let's see if you recognize any of these names. Kerwin Silfies, George Scott, Nelson Swegler.
Wow, George Scott, Nelson. I recognize all those guys. Work with Nelson. Work with George Scott for a little bit. Nelson, obviously, Kerwin Selfies. Some of these are with NBC.
Isn't it weird that you never see credits in a wrestling show, but you do when they run on NBC like this?
And once again, this NBC production, right?
I just think it's interesting that up until recently, they didn't run credits at all in wrestling. And now they just run it to say Lee Fitting and Paul Levesque. But right now, here's what I know. It's about that time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to go to Arena Mexico, and we're going to invite Dave Silva to go with us. Dave, I will buy you a first-class ticket to Arena Mexico if you go. Dave?
Arriba!
For Dave Silva and Conrad Thompson, I'm Tony Schiavone. You're listening to What Happened When. We come to you each and every Monday, exclusively and ad-free only on
Patron, patreon.com/WHW Monday. And of course, adfreeshows.com.
Happy Mother's Day to you. Happy Mother's Day to you. Happy Mother's Day, you motherfuckers. Happy Mother's Day to you. We out.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson here to tell you a little more about what adfreeshows.com is all about. Get early, ad-free access to more than a dozen of your favorite wrestling podcasts every single week, starting at just $9. That's less than 20 cents an episode each month. And yes, you can listen to them all directly through Apple Podcasts or your regular podcast apps. How easy is that? Ad-free shows also has thousands of hours worth of bonus content and docuseries like Title Chase, Eric Fires Back, Conversations with Conrad, and The Insiders. Plus new series like The Book with David Crockett, Monday Mailbags with Mike Chioda and Nick Patrick, and a whole lot more. And you want to talk about early? You can't get any earlier than listening to the shows live. You can be a part of the live studio audience as we record the podcast. Plus, ride shotgun alongside your favorite childhood heroes for live watch-alongs, Q&As, and other interactive experiences every single month. Come on now, see for yourself what thousands of other wrestling fans from around the world have discovered, that adfreeshows.com is the best value in wrestling. Check it out today, and hey, when you do, the first week is completely free. adfreeshows.com.